Hey everybody, welcome back to Bake with Blake. Thank you for joining me today. Feel free to subscribe. I make these every Tuesday. Stay tuned. So feel free to check out that content. If you want to see past videos, click the link in the corner, the little learn how situation. There's links at the bottom. Follow me on social media. Everything is at BlakeBerry33. And let's get started with today's fall-inspired dessert. This is going to be entitled Apple Cinnabites. I'm using two recipes that are blending together because it just kind of really depends on the amount of sugar that you're using and the spice. So I will link those original recipes below. Keep in mind I'm blending them. Obviously, first things first, I'm preheating my oven at 375. You ideally would also want some parchment paper for this. I don't have that, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but I have used some canola oil on my cooking sheet, so hopefully we don't have any issues with that. Let's talk about ingredients. First, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter. This has been sitting at room temperature. It's going to need to be melted, so we'll do that in a second. You're going to need 1/3 of a cup of light brown sugar. You're going to need 1/3 of a cup of walnuts, pecans, really any kind of nut other than peanuts and cashews. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and you're going to need, depending on how you cut it, 1 or 2 lunchbox size Granny Smith apples. At the end of the day, you're going to need 8 slices from this apple, and you don't want them to be gigantic. The main ingredient, the star, the bread and butter. Well, not the butter, but the bread. An 8-ounce can, just the regular size can, of the Crescent dinner rolls. This is the Kroger brand because the Pillsbury ones were actually very expensive and these were not. So we're gonna try these out today, and so let's get started. So as you can see, I already did it, sliced my Granny Smith apples, and let's pop the butter into the microwave. That's cooking for 10 seconds. We're going to take the brown sugar and the 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and mix them together. So make sure your brown sugar and your cinnamon's blended. So I'm actually going to bring you guys closer so we can do some close-ups of the food. Going to pop open the Crescent Rolls container, wherever that opens. Does this ever pop for anyone when you pull this off? You always have to like whack it. There we go. We're going to take the Crescent Rolls. I'm only gonna do a couple at a time. We'll do 2 for right now. Okay, 3. Basically, we just want like a sticky surface for the Crescent Rolls to adhere the cinnamon and things. So we're just going to use it for, you could use your hands, you could totally use your hands. We're going to sprinkle that on. Feel free to be generous. So we have the brown sugar and cinnamon mixture on. We're going to take a little bit of these chopped nuts and we're going to sprinkle them on. Ooh, you know what would be good? Like raisins or cranberries or something too. Yeah. So now that that is all set, we're going to take our apple slices, and you want the smaller version of the Granny Smith apples because the big versions might be too big for this, the size of these rolls. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the slice, put them at the top of each of the slices here of the rolls. Slices of the rolls, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying. Put them here. Now we are going to roll them up. As you guys can see, I should have sprinkled the brown sugar and wrapped these on my cutting board. I will do that for the future. But for the time being, you will see there are openings in each of these. That's what you want. You don't want this to be an enclosed food item. Here's a close-up so you guys can see the beauteous. FYI, this is a messy recipe, just like forewarning you. Okay, so while I clean up, we're gonna pop these in the oven and we'll bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes and I'll see you in a bit. Great. Hey everybody, so we're back and I've finally let these bake for, it turned out it needed 12 minutes. I would just kind of watch it, keep an eye on it. But they came out amazing. They look delicious. I'll insert some close-ups here. So after after you let these cool for a little bit, you can serve them hot or room temperature. I personally would probably serve this and maybe drizzle it with some caramel and serve it with maybe like a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Let's give a little taste test. So good. Oh my god. These are so good. Be careful when you eat this. Cinnamon or the flakiness of this might induce choking, so be careful. End result, this is delicious. You should make it. You have plenty of time, plenty of fall time to spice it up, literally and figuratively. Add some caramel, add some Cool Whip, add some vanilla ice cream. Excuse me. Don't choke. The recipes will be linked down below. Feel free to choose one, do one just like I did, find something completely different. There's a bunch of things, so like let your imagination run wild. And thank you guys for watching. Tune in for more Bake with Blakes here every Tuesday. It's been a pleasure having you, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye.